And for 40 years, Bilal Salam was Will Smith's closest confidant, someone who knew him before the fame, before the Oscars, before everything. Then, in November 2023, Bilal walked into Tasha K's studio and dropped a bombshell, claiming he witnessed Will in a compromising position with Dwayne Martin. Now, new footage of Will Smith's best friend exposing him goes viral, and what he reveals changes everything. Bilal Salam was one of Will Smith's closest confidants, someone who knew him before the fame, before the Oscars, before the money changed everything. In Hollywood, friendships like that are rare. But in November 2023, Bilal walked into Tasha K's studio and detonated a bomb that would shake one of entertainment's most famous marriages to its core.
Today, y'all, Jada Pinkett and Will Smith are reportedly getting ready to sue Will's best friend of 40 years and former personal assistant brother Bilal because he claimed in an interview with Tasha K that he caught Will and Dwayne Martin in a trailer having aggressive sex.
The interview went viral instantly. Social media exploded. Entertainment Tonight, TMZ, every major outlet picked up the story. Because Bilal wasn't being vague or dancing around his allegations. He claimed he'd actually walked in on Will Smith and actor Dwayne Martin in a compromising position. Will's team moved fast. Within hours, a representative called the allegations completely fabricated and unequivocally false. But here's the thing that had people talking. They threatened legal action. Threatened, never actually filed. Jada appeared on The Breakfast Club soon after, and her response was immediate.
And here's what she said.
We're going to take legal action. Because it's one thing to have your opinion about somebody versus just making up salacious, malicious story.
She called it ridiculous and nonsense, dismissing the whole thing as a money grab. According to Jada, Bilal had worked on Will's memoir and felt he deserved more compensation. And when he didn't get what he wanted, he went nuclear.
By a source close to the case, they are not anything close to best friends, nor are they close at all. Like, they're not close. So that this is a glamour. But he's filed a lawsuit in Los Angeles Superior Court seeking $3 million.
The Breakfast Club host rallied behind the Smiths. Charlemagne and the crew called the allegations a shakedown, defending Will and Jada, while questioning why anyone would platform such claims. It was the entertainment industry closing ranks, protecting its own.
You can't even trust friends you've had for 40 years.
But here's where the story gets interesting. If these allegations were completely false, completely fabricated as they claimed, why not actually sue? A defamation case like this would be straightforward if someone just made up a story about witnessing something that never happened. You'd win easily. Yet months passed and no lawsuit materialized, just threats and public statements.
But here's the other thing too, is she was talking about legal action, right? And if they do take it that far, then people are gonna have to get in court and they're gonna have to say things under oath. Yeah. And then that's gonna become public knowledge.
Maybe they realized what going to court would actually mean. Discovery, depositions, testimony under oath, all the messy details of their relationship exposed in legal proceedings. And there's another layer here that makes Bilal's timing fascinating. October 2023, just weeks before his explosive interview, Jada had revealed something shocking in her memoir. She and Will had been separated since 2016. 7 years of living completely separate lives while maintaining the public image of a united couple. 7 years of appearing together at events, walking red carpets, all for show. If they'd been separated since 2016, living their own lives, were they in an open arrangement? Was Will free to see other people? The context suddenly shifted. What would have been infidelity in a traditional marriage became something else entirely if they were already living apart. Bilal knew about the separation before Jada went public. He was part of that inner circle, privy to the real dynamics of their relationship. That insider knowledge made his allegations harder to dismiss. He wasn't some outsider making wild claims. He'd seen how their marriage actually worked behind closed doors. The story even connects back to the infamous 2022 Oscars. According to legal documents filed later, Dwayne Martin allegedly approached Bilal after the Chris Rock slap incident, asking for help with crisis management. Bilal claims he refused because the requests were illegal, unethical, or morally compromising. That refusal, he says, is when things turned ugly with the Smith family. By December 2025, Bilal had filed his own lawsuit against Jada, seeking $3 million for emotional distress. He alleged that she'd confronted him in September 2021 at a private birthday party for Will, surrounded by 7 members of her entourage. According to the complaint, Jada became verbally aggressive, threatening him for telling her personal business, saying he'd end up missing or catch a bullet. She allegedly demanded he sign an NDA and followed him to his car, continuing to issue threats.
Do you guys know what the other big problem is with his lawsuit, how it's being handled?
Because
that tells us
he's doing it himself. He doesn't have a lawyer. It's pro se.
There you go.
Any lawyer with
That's
a brain
it, Phil.
doesn't take this case.
So he's representing himself. Yeah. No bueno.
Will and Jada's camp called it a lot of crap, describing Bilal as an opportunistic person out to exploit them. Sources close to the couple painted him as a blabbermouth upset about not getting paid what he thought he deserved. But legal experts examining Bilal's case noticed something. He was representing himself, filing pro se. Few lawyers wanted to touch it.
The strongest allegation he has is that Jada threatened him by saying, you'll catch a straight bullet. But even if that's to be believed, and I don't know if I believe anything this guy says, that allegation is from September 2021. That's well beyond the statute of limitations for intentional infliction of emotional distress.
His lawsuit faced serious legal hurdles before it even got started. Maybe that's why he went public first. Maybe he knew the courts wouldn't give him what he wanted. So he took his story to the platform where he could control the narrative.
Normally these things are taken on a contingency basis. So any lawyer with a brain, for all the reasons Dave laid out, we just would not want to touch this with a 10-foot pole because there's not going to be any recovery. Listen to what has to be.
40 years of friendship, decades of loyalty and trust, and it all came crashing down over money, alleged threats, and secrets that were supposed to stay buried. In Hollywood, they say you can't trust anyone. Will Smith learned that lesson the hard way. The lawsuit continues. The threats of countersuits remain just that, threats. And somewhere in the middle of all the legal maneuvering and public statements, the truth of what really happened, what Bilal really saw, remains locked behind closed doors. Maybe that's exactly where Will and Jada want to keep it, because sometimes the threat of exposure is more powerful than the exposure itself. And sometimes the people closest to you are the ones who can hurt you most. What the public heard in 2023, Bilal says, began privately in 2021 at Will Smith's own birthday celebration. And September 25th, 2021, Will Smith's 53rd birthday party at the Regency Calabasas Commons should have been pure celebration. Bilal, a friend for 4 decades, showed up to support his boy. Just another night with the people closest to him, until it wasn't. What happened in that upscale venue's lobby would turn everything upside down, because Jada didn't pull Bilal aside for a quiet conversation. She came with approximately 7 people, an entourage, surrounding him. The message was clear before any words were spoken.
Will Smith and Jada Pinkett Smith are upset over a recent lawsuit filed against Pinkett Smith, according to sources close to the couple. Bilal Salam, aka Brother Bilal, filed a $3 million complaint on Monday, December the 1st, alleging that the actress, 54, confronted him in the lobby of the Regency Calabasas Commons in September 2021.
7 people. Think about that for a second. Why would someone need that many people for a simple conversation? Physical intimidation, preventing any chance of walking away, witnesses to whatever was about to go down. This wasn't a discussion. This was a mob. According to the lawsuit, Jada became verbally aggressive. The exact wording matters here. If Bilal continued telling her personal business, he would end up missing. Not subtle, not vague, missing, as in disappear. But the threats didn't stop there. The alternative was even more direct. Catch a bullet. Not a metaphor, a death threat at her husband's birthday party, for talking about family secrets, for knowing too much. Then came the NDA demand, sign a non-disclosure agreement, or else legal coercion wrapped in violence. Put your signature on this document, or those threats become reality. The ultimate silencing tactic. The lawsuit describes Bilal's terror at that moment, believing the threats were real, believing this powerful Hollywood family was capable of making someone disappear, And honestly, in an industry where influence equals power, where connections can make or break careers, where scandals get buried and problems get solved quietly, maybe that fear was justified. But what personal business was worth threatening someone's life over? The lawsuit doesn't specify exactly what Bilal knew, but it implies something serious, something career-ending, something explosive enough to warrant death threats at a birthday party.
So, all right, I open the door to Dwayne's dressing room, and that's when I see Dwayne and having with Will.
Pull out. What's up, Tasha? What the hell do you have here? What is all of this, Bilal?
Was this about Will's sexuality? About Dwayne Martin? About the open marriage details? About other scandals the family desperately wanted buried? What secret is worth killing over? What truth is that dangerous? Here's what makes this even more twisted. Bilal wasn't some random associate. 4 decades of loyalty. 4 decades of keeping secrets. 4 decades of being in the inner circle. And suddenly, he became a threat.
A legal document showing the proof of everything that's going on legally with Will and Jada. So, like I told you before a couple of years ago, whenever I do an interview, I must.
Fast forward 5 months, March 2022. The Oscar slap is heard around the world. Will Smith walks on stage and slaps Chris Rock. Global scandal, a viral moment. The Smith family in the biggest crisis of their public lives. And according to the lawsuit, they reached out to Bilal after threatening him, after intimidating him, after promising violence if he didn't sign an NDA. Now they wanted his help.
Basically, the confrontation stemmed from his alleged sharing of sensitive information about Jada Pinkett Smith's personal matters with others in Will Smith's circle, and he refused to sign an NDA, viewing it as an attempt to silence him.
The audacity is stunning. Crisis management, they called it. Help us control this narrative. Help us manage this disaster. Use your connections. Use your loyalty. The same loyalty they'd threatened to end with a bullet 6 months earlier. Bilal said no. After everything they'd done, after the threats, after the intimidation, after being followed to his car by 7 people, he refused. His conscience wouldn't allow him to participate in what he believed was a cover-up, a deceptive PR campaign. He drew a line and maintained his dignity. That refusal would cost him everything. The lawsuit claims a retaliatory campaign was launched immediately after. Smith Associates began systematic attacks, calling him a liar, destroying his credibility, and blacklisting him in the industry. They went after his reputation first. In Hollywood, credibility is currency. Without it, you're done. They allegedly used their power, their connections, their influence to paint Bilal as unstable, as dishonest, as someone trying to shake them down for money. But it didn't stop at public statements. According to Bilal's complaint, they pressured media outlets, used their Hollywood power to kill stories, made calls to networks, leveraged relationships with publications, controlled the narrative by controlling who could tell it.
Apparently, was the threats intensified when Salam began writing a whistleblower memoir about his decades with the Smiths. A manager acting on Jada Pinkett's behalf reportedly told him to work something out and end this feud before you get physically hurt.
When Bilal did give an interview that went viral, alleging he witnessed Will in a compromising position with Dwayne Martin, Jada went public with her response. On The Breakfast Club, she laughed it off. Ridiculous, she said. Nonsense. But the lawsuit points out something crucial. Jada claimed she and Will would pursue legal action against Bilal for his allegations, but they never did.
Salam's lawsuit alleges rather than pursue legal recourse or report actual crimes, defendant intentionally and maliciously engaged in a smear campaign through nationally broadcast interviews.
The statement, according to Bilal's complaint, was false and made with malicious intent to manipulate public opinion and damage his character. Bilal is seeking $3 million in damages, but the money isn't really the point. This lawsuit is about speaking the truth, about refusing to be silenced, about standing up to power, even when that power can crush you. The question remains, what personal business was worth all this? What secrets are the Smiths protecting that justified threats, intimidation, and a retaliatory campaign? What truth is so dangerous that a 40-year friendship had to end in violence and destruction? We may never know the full story, but the fact that it led here to lawsuits and public battles and destroyed relationships tells us it's something significant, something explosive, something that shakes the carefully constructed public image to its foundation. And now it's all out in the open, laid bare in court documents and legal filings. The birthday party threats, the parking lot intimidation, the Oscar slap fallout, the retaliatory campaign. Every detail is documented, every allegation on record. The secrets they tried so hard to bury are becoming the very story they feared most. Those threats didn't just end friendships, they set the stage for something much bigger. Years later, what happened that night would finally resurface in a courtroom. December 1st, 2025, Brother Bilal walks into a Los Angeles courthouse and files the papers. $3 million against Jada Pinkett Smith. The strategic choice sends shockwaves through Hollywood and raises one simple question: why her? The complaint names one primary charge: intentional infliction of emotional distress. But the story it tells spans years of alleged threats, intimidation, and what Bilal describes as a calculated campaign to destroy his life. Every detail matters when you're suing Hollywood royalty. Every claim needs backing. Why sue Jada instead of Will? According to the lawsuit, she's the one who made the threats. September 25th, 2021. Will's 53rd birthday celebration at the Regency Calabasas Commons. Bilal claims Jada confronted him in the lobby with approximately 7 members of her entourage. She allegedly demanded he sign a non-disclosure agreement, or else, then followed him to his car, the threats continuing as he tried to leave. In Bilal's telling, Jada organized the intimidation. The $3 million figure breaks down into specific categories of damages: financial loss from what Bilal describes as industry blacklisting, career opportunities he says vanished overnight, business deals destroyed, income eliminated, future earnings gone. He's claiming quantifiable damages from years of alleged retaliation.
That's what I'm saying. That's why people talking about, oh, he's not his friend, Anybody out there, just go get Will's book and go to,
It's true. He showed me this. You're in the book, Will.
Right.
Why would he put you in that book if you didn't mean something?
The reputational destruction cuts deeper. Jada publicly called him a liar, claiming he attempted a money shakedown against her and Will. Those words, broadcast nationally, attached a label to his name: extortionist, someone trying to shake down celebrities for cash. In the industry, that kind of reputation is career poison. Meanwhile, Bilal claims he's living in fear. Death threats, he says, have become part of his daily reality. The lawsuit describes PTSD symptoms, anxiety disorders, and depression. A mental health crisis triggered by years of alleged harassment and intimidation. His physical health has apparently deteriorated too, due to stress-related illness, chronic medical conditions, doctor visits piling up. The lawsuit claims documented evidence of how the alleged campaign affected his body, not just his mind. When your nervous system stays in fight or flight mode for years, the toll becomes measurable. His career, whatever it was before, has been completely derailed. Industry blacklist is a powerful phrase, and Bilal uses it specifically. In Hollywood, informal blacklisting doesn't require official paperwork. It happens through whispered conversations, strategic phone calls, and the quiet closing of opportunities. The betrayal stings most because of the history. 40 years of loyalty to Will Smith, supporting him through everything, keeping secrets, being the friend who showed up when cameras weren't rolling. The kind of friendship Will himself acknowledged in his 2021 memoir, including photos of Bilal in the pages. What did Bilal know that made him so dangerous? Pre-fame Will, the real person before Hollywood manufactured the image. Marriage struggles between Will and Jada long before they publicly acknowledged separation. Questions about sexuality that both men have faced over the years. Everything that contradicts the carefully constructed public narrative. The power imbalance is staggering. Will and Jada, Hollywood royalty with unlimited resources and connections everywhere. Bilal, a regular person whose support network allegedly vanished under pressure. David versus Goliath doesn't begin to capture it when Goliath has the entire entertainment industry in their contacts list.
So, well, yes, Jada went on several platforms, The Breakfast Club, TMZ, saying that she was going to sue me and so forth and so on. Will was going to sue me, and the answer is no.
Why come forward now? Bilal says he's tired of threats, tired of fear, tired of watching the Smiths maintain their perfect family image while allegedly threatening him behind the scenes. The hypocrisy finally broke something. In October 2023, Jada released her book Worthy, revealing the 7-year separation from Will. But Bilal claims he already knew. She's making millions selling her truth while allegedly silencing his.
XX Hollywood. Now I'm getting all these big media giants covering my story, right? About the lawsuit and the allegations and all kind of stuff. You know why? Because I got factual proof.
The timing connects to another family member, Jaden Smith, Will and Jada's son, reportedly took the allegations particularly hard. Jaden publicly identifies as sexually fluid. Now his father's sexuality is being questioned publicly. Family secrets exposed. Public humiliation. The children caught in the middle of their parents' drama and a whistleblower's claims.
So there was a attempt in my life in Medellin, Colombia. So as people know, or something a lot of people didn't know, I was living in Medellin, Colombia. And just really quick, a guy named Fernando was my assistant out there. He would drive me around, help me out, do whatever I needed to do.
Remember the Red Table Talk era? Jada's Facebook show built its entire brand on honest conversations and bringing herself to the table. The show that made August Alsina's entanglement with Jada public knowledge in August 2020. Jada could admit to an affair during their separation, use therapeutic language to reframe it, and profit from the confession. But Bilal couldn't talk about what he allegedly knew. Selective honesty, controlled narrative.
Because I know for a fact that Danny Masterson and Will and Jada was at Will and Jada house. So this was going on while, now for those who don't know, Danny Masterson was a Scientologist.
The Oscar slap becomes relevant here too. March 2022, Will walks on stage and slaps Chris Rock over a joke about Jada's shaved head, defending her honor in front of the world. But behind the scenes, according to Bilal's lawsuit, that marriage was a performance. He claims he refused to help with crisis management after the slap because the task seemed illegal, unethical, or morally compromising. His refusal allegedly intensified the retaliation against him. The legal strategy matters. This is a civil lawsuit, not criminal charges. That means a lower burden of proof, preponderance of evidence instead of beyond reasonable doubt. Bilal needs to prove it's more likely than not that Jada caused him intentional emotional distress. Easier to win than a criminal case, but still challenging against defendants with resources to fight indefinitely. If the case proceeds to discovery, both sides will have to produce documents, text messages, emails, witnesses, communications about the alleged threats, instructions to entourage members, discussions about Bilal and what he knew, evidence of coordinated efforts to silence him. Discovery could reveal what both sides want to keep private. But there's another bombshell Bilal has revealed. Hard drives allegedly stolen from Jada's house containing sensitive material. The kind of evidence that could expose things the family desperately wants to keep hidden.
Somebody stole 2 hard drives from Jada's house. So now we get into why she's even more mad. Jada will watch at the houses. She had her laptop. She would stick her hard drive in, right? Boom, and hook it up to the TV.
The allegations about Jada's tactics go deeper. According to Bilal, the psychological warfare was sophisticated and relentless.
She controls him, and she always threatens Andy to herself and expose everything. So what Will got to come to, even with this lawsuit? Why is Will name in it and I'm suing Jada? Oh, I gotta come support Jada. Yeah, because you don't want certain things to come out that Jada knows.
Despite all the evidence he claims to have, Bilal acknowledges the uphill battle he faces. Fighting Hollywood power is never easy, especially when the media narrative is already working against you. Jada's defense options are predictable: deny everything, claim misunderstanding, attack Bilal's credibility, which they've already started by calling him an opportunist, settle quietly with sealed terms, or drag out proceedings until his resources are exhausted. It's the standard playbook when facing accusations from someone without comparable wealth. The silence from the Smiths is notable. No public response yet. Nothing from their legal team beyond no comment to media inquiries. Just silence while the lawsuit sits in the system, waiting for its day in court. And in that silence, the questions multiply. What secrets are worth threatening a 40-year friendship? What truth is so dangerous it requires this level of alleged intimidation? And will a Los Angeles courtroom finally provide the answers?